All right, back for another beer review, and today I'll be reviewing yet another beer from the HOMES Brewery, and they're out of Ann Arbor, Michigan, and this is their METAFORM, the Blackberry variant. So this is a sour IPA that is brewed with lactose and double dry hopped with Citra and The Bruce hops, then blended with a blackberry and aged on vanilla. Comes in at 6.6% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed time of review. This can is just over 2.5 months old. I want to give a huge thanks and shout out once again to a very good friend of mine and viewer of the channel, Jeff, aka NoJinx, for hooking me up with this one. Thank you very much, good sir. You definitely know I appreciate this one. I will post a link in the description box to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Jeff sent my way, and he's been sending me a lot of HOMES beers. You've seen a lot of HOMES reviews on the channel, and this guy is all about it because HOMES makes great beers and definitely one of my favorite breweries from the state of Michigan. So this one I've been sitting on a little bit, mostly because it's a sour IPA and there's blackberry and vanilla and whatnot, and more often than not with these beers, a lot of times the IPA portion doesn't come to the forefront. Now, Jeff did mention in a recent whenever we talk, he mentions like HOMES he thinks does a really good job with the sour IPAs where you can actually taste the the IPA portion, and I'd agree with him. I think them and like Hudson Valley, some of the best sour IPAs I've had. The Cynosure behind me on the pretentious wall of bottles and cans, another delicious one. I actually have another Cynosure from him. But yeah, anyway, this one sounds delicious. You're talking about blackberry, vanilla, double dry hop with Citra and the Bruce hops. I've never had the Bruce hops. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck the Bruce hops are. No idea. But it sounds interesting. Lactose in here and the whole nine. So let's crack this one open and get it into a glass and see what we got going on here. So this has been my fridge ever since he sent it to me, so we should be fine. Oh yeah, that's blackberry, baby. Nothing rules coming out because there's so many blackberries here. I don't even know what to say right now. Come on, daddy. Yeah, that's looking fantastic, honestly. So, what do we got going on here? Oh, I got a little stuff on my tablecloth. But anyway, yeah, that's blackberry juice. That's what it looks like purplish, a little bit of like a red tint here at the bottom, super murky and turbid, can't see through it. Half finger of this straight up pink colored head. Looks slightly creamy. It's dissipating now. Probably a small, thin film by the time. I'm going to swirl it up though. A little bit of alcohol legs on there despite it only being 6.6%. Let's get a nose. Yeah, it's blackberries. Ooh, seedy, jammy, acidic blackberries. And I am getting a little bit of IPA character. Hang on. Yeah, there's a nice citrus character. Ruby red, grapefruit, orange, maybe tangerine. Peach, maybe? It's tough to get by the blackberries just because, as good as HOMES is with sour IPAs and like Hudson Valley and some other breweries, a lot of times when you're using a berry like a blackberry or a fruit adjunct, they usually, dominate the nose. I'm not getting a lot of vanilla in this one on the nose. There's lactose in here. There's vanilla. A lot of times lactose for me produces a vanilla kind of vibe, and then you got vanilla on top of it. Not really getting that in the nose. It just smells like jammy, seedy, fresh blackberries with an underlying decent IPA kind of portion of the show. It smells pretty fucking good though. Yeah, it does. So let's get into it. Cheers, everybody. Thanks again, Jeff. Goddamn, HOMES. Man, this is fucking so good. Yeah, it's blackberries, it's vanilla, it's like a blackberry fruit smoothie or like a blackberry creamsicle. Let's go body mouthfeel first. 6.6%, this is higher side of medium. It's very nice body-wise. Mouthfeel, soft, smooth, slightly creamy from the lactose. Has a little bit more carbonation. It's one thing I've noticed from like HOMES' like Cynosure and this. They have a little bit more carbonation to them. Even their their double fruited goes they sent to me. That I like that it has carbonation, unless you know it's a beer. Sometimes these are too soft, smooth, and creamy, and that can be blasphemy for a lot of people. But for me, sometimes if it's not a straight on fruit smoothie like sour, I want some carbonation, and it has it here. So body and mouthfeel, yeah, spot on. The taste though, right up front, blackberries and vanilla. That's what hits you at the forefront, and it's kind of hard to get past that in the first half of the palate. Like I said, jammy, seedy, fresh, sweet blackberries mixing in with a tartness to them. The vanilla is there, passes through the palate. A little bit of that IPA comes to the forefront, mostly citrus, ruby red grapefruit, orange. Yeah, maybe now I'm getting like a touch of passion fruit too. Could be the Bruce hops. I don't know. Again, I've never heard of the Bruce hops, honestly, so I couldn't tell you. As it continues on though, the palate, even though it's sweet up front, the sour portion of the sour IPA and the blackberries and everything comes to the forefront. It's like a firm to higher tartness. There's an acidity on the back end, and there's a semi-dry finish. So it's sweet through 50 to 75% of the palate, and then the last 25, last say quarter of the palate is a nice balance of the tartness, the acidic kind of bite, and then a little bit of like a semi-dry finish. So it balances out quite nice. Super easy to drink, 6.6%. Yeah, they drinks like you would expect a 6.6% beer to drink. Can't taste the alcohol. What I like about this is I'm getting a firm tartness, but it's not overly sour. I do get a little bit of that IPA, and then the vanilla is actually here along with just the jammy, seedy blackberries. And yeah, if I was doing this blind, would I be able to tell you it's a sour IPA? No, I'd probably say sour fruit beer. Just because the IPA isn't that big, knowing it's IPA can pick up on those citrus tones and a little bit of that passion fruit. But like doing it blind, I probably would just be focusing on the blackberry and the vanilla mostly. Yeah, so listen, Homes does great stuff. They brew excellent beer, and this is right in the realm with what I expect from them. So METAFORM, the Blackberry variant, 4.5 out of 5 all day long for this beer. 4.5 out of 5. It's a delicious beer. Thank you to Jeff for sending this one my way. All the Homes. I want to try all the Homes. Jeff is so nice to send me home stuff. I'm sure he will in the future, but like if you live in Ann Arbor or anywhere close to Homes in Michigan, you owe it to yourself to try out their beer. Plain and simple. End of story. Price and availability, I think this was $18 a 4-pack availability, brewery only, but for $4.50 a can, yeah, all day, every day in availability, you know, it is what it is, but if you live relatively close to Homes, you can check them out. So thanks again to Jeff for hooking me up with this one. I really do appreciate it. Thanks to everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. If you've had this one before or any of the METAFORMs, let me know what you think about it, because this is exactly kind of what I want from a sour IPA. Maybe, you know, the reason it doesn't give a 4.75 or a 5 or anything is I think that IPA is a little bit lost. And again, this beer is 2.5 months old, and that's my fault, not Jeff's. Jeff sent it to me when it was like a couple weeks old, but I did the whole month break and whatnot. So, but at the end of the day, 4.5, 4.75, it really doesn't matter. It's a fucking delicious beer. I think if I did drink it maybe like a month old or 3 weeks old, you get a little bit more of the IPA. But right now, even though this is almost 3 months old, this is drinking phenomenal. Like it's fucking so delicious. I'm going to go drink the rest of it. Cheers, everybody.